Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm starting this video by transferring the sketch to a baking sheet to show the art process. I already drew the sketch to another side. I was filming this with my phone to see if I could edit different angles to my videos. I filmed this part when I was painting my previous video, Little Joys. After the sketch on the baking sheet was done, I started to transfer the sketch to the watercolor paper. The graphite will stick lightly on the watercolor paper. I sketched both sides of the baking sheet because the original sketch will be mirrored if it's traced on only one side. I like to use this trick when my sketch is one-on-one with the watercolor paper size, or if there are more detailed sketches that I want to transfer over neatly. Before I started painting this piece, I was pondering if I should use masking fluid or not. I would have used it for the dots. One of the pros and cons is the placement of the dots and that they will look more sharp. I decided not to use masking fluid and freehand the dots to make them look more loose and natural. The paper needs to dry to a specific point so it is wet enough to make the dots without them spreading. I always water down both sides of the paper so the pigments activate and there won't be streaky lines. The outlines were faint and I was able to see them against shade. I should have started with doing some outlines with the paint to see where the arms or fingers go, but I like to go the harder way. I used English red, cool red and some orange to create the shades for the foot. When I was a teen, I started doodling Cervitaurs. Back then, I didn't know what they were called, so they were simply deers and owls. I'm calling this one Nathaniel, and he is one of the first Cervitaurs I have been doodling. My artworks and sketches with Cervitaurs are usually light and full of happiness. was unsure about the background. Do I make it simple with one background color, or do I paint something nature themed there? I only had the main subject of the painting in mind, so I hadn't given any thought for the background. While the painting was drying, I went for a short walk. My book order had arrived, so I went to pick that up. During the walk, I decided on making a forest background, as it felt more natural choice. When I arrived home, the paper was dried enough to continue painting, and at that moment, when I started to paint the background without any plans what kind of forest I will create, just letting the brush do the work while I was going with the flow. I focused on painting the background. Layer by layer, it started to take shape. It's also easier to mix the shadows and see where the light sources come from. I imagined using some turquoise in the background, so I am adding it on some green color mixes. It's only a small portion, so the green shades can shine more. For the forest paintings, it's good to add some brown to the ground level too. It balances the piece if there are a lot of greens. I also left some pockets of paper color to help the background breathe. While painting this piece, I noticed the background has similarities with my older Cervitaur paintings. I'll show them later on the video. For the shadows I used some purple, turquoise or cool blue and some English red. For the hair and horns I used some cool red and purple. While I was editing this video, I got another Cervitaur themed painting idea. I made a Cervitaur sculpture with clay during my fine art studies. It's sitting on my counters and I could make a still life or use it as a base for the next painting. It's also a great way to visit and appreciate your older pieces. I'm working on the shadows now. I'm using some purple and turquoise. I'm visiting the layers couple of times by adding some fur color and some shadow colors. While I was working on the piece, I noticed how the shadows looked like the area was more dim. I ended up making the whole piece more dimmer with turquoise and blues to make the Cervitaur fit the background better. I remember a piece I drew digitally in 2016 and wanted to sprinkle some glowing bugs in the background. I also had repainted the same piece in 2020 with watercolors. I'm adding some final touches and details both to the background and to the Cervitaur. I'm adding more glowing bugs and layering some on top of the Cervitaur to create some more depth. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it.